In this video, we're gonna compare Pilbara Minerals and Allkem ASX AKE. Not as a financial advice to tell you to buy or sell anything, but just as an informational, hopefully educational to some people. And really, it helps me to learn more about these lithium mining companies. Let's have a look at Allkem. If you hold on to Allkem stock for 15 years, from 2007 till 2022, the share price would have gone up from 23 cents to about $13.20 in 15 years. That is about 56x, or annualized return about 31% per year. And as always, before we get into the financials, let's convert the share price into market capitalization so that we can focus on the business and understand more about what is happening. $13.20, that is about $8.4 billion in market capitalization. And back then, at the all-time low, about 23 cents per share, that is about $146 million market capitalization. And the difference with Pilbara Minerals, Allkem, or used to be called Cobra or Cobra, I don't know how to say it. In 2018, they reported a net profit, but they never paid dividends, similar to Pilbara Minerals. And similar to Pilbara Minerals, they also keep issuing shares. So back in 2014, the number of shares is about 132 million, and in 2022, the number of shares is about 630 million. And the doubling in number of shares in 2022 from 2021, that is due to the merger with Galaxy Resources. So here is Allkem results for financial year 2022. The group revenue is $770 million US, lower than Pilbara, that is almost having a sales of $1.2 billion, and they have achieved a net profit after tax of $337 million US. And if we convert the net profit to Australian dollars, that is about $481 million with 70 cents conversion rate. Anyone should ask themselves, is paying 8.4 billion market capitalization is a reasonable price with price to earning ratio about 17.5 and 7.6 times the revenue. And by the way, Allkem is different from Pilbara Minerals with how they mine their lithium. They mine lithium carbonate in their South America operation, in which they have hectares of evaporation ponds as big as 1,300 hectares. If my calculation is right, that is about 1,300 rugby fields combined. And these hectares of ponds designed to produce 15,000 tons of lithium carbonate per year for stage 1, and they still have further growth for Sal de Vida stage 2 project. And if you ask yourself, does this company have still future growth? Well, they are planning to increase their production by 2026. They're talking about tripling down. But the difficult question for any kind of investor is that what's the reasonable price for lithium per ton? Because obviously this mining company has to produce profits, but at the same time, the consumer of this lithium consumer electronics products cannot pay too much as well. The customer also need to win in this lithium boom. You can pause the video and look at how Allkem has progressed throughout the years. But we say that lithium carbonate is priced differently. Well, they are more precious than spodumene concentrate. Because for 2022 FOB price, lithium carbonate is almost priced at $24,000 US per ton, higher than its previous year, about $4,900 US per ton. So about 5 times increase. That is way higher than the spodumene price of just $2,200 US per ton. But spodumene price for 2022 is experiencing same increase in price in magnitude compared to 2021 price. Because in 2021 price, it was about $415 per ton. So spodumene $2,200 US, lithium carbonate $25,000, that is huge difference by a factor of 10. Now let's talk about costs of production. For the Mount Catherine production for the spodumene, Allkem reported the operating costs of about $420 US per ton. And that's not cheap if you compare to some other minerals such as iron ore. For example, FMG has a C1 costs about $16 per ton. I'm not a mining expert, I may be wrong. And if we compare the operating costs for Pilbara Minerals, they have guidance for 2023 of about 635 to 700 Australian dollars per ton. But in US dollars term, it's pretty similar. $450 for Pilbara, and for the Mount Catherine operation for Allkem, about $420 per ton. And Allkem has their plan to increase their production by 3 times by 2026. And Allkem mentioned about strong customer relationship. And I think this is the last part of the video. I think it's really important to understand as well, big companies, they also own some stake of these Australian mining companies such as Allkem and Pilbara Minerals. Let's start with Allkem. If you read the top 20 shareholders they publish in the annual report, the substantial shareholders is actually Toyota Tsusho Corporation with 6.2% stake of the company, and maybe that way the Japanese company can secure the supply of lithium, whereas Pilbara Minerals 2 substantial shareholders outside Australia. The first one is POSCO Holding, a South Korean steel-making company with a market capitalization about 21 trillion Korean won. POSCO owns about 3.16% of Pilbara Minerals. Ganfeng Lithium, the Chinese company listed in Shanghai Stock Exchange with market capitalization about 153 billion Chinese yuan. Pilbara Minerals have 3 other key customers such as Yibin Tianyi, Great Wall Motors, and General Lithium. And by the way, Ganfeng Lithium owns about 5.8% stake in Pilbara Minerals. So that's it for today, guys, and I hope you find this video useful.